Welcome back to the Arizona Daily Mix. This is really cool. I have biracial children, and I know how difficult it was to find product for the whole family, and that is where Bare+Bloom comes in, and Ahmad and Savannah, who know what families are going through as an interracial couple with biracial children. But this is a great story about how this whole company came about. And Savannah, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the company came about after I had my daughter. I was totally unprepared for what to expect postpartum. I was experiencing massive hair loss, hyperpigmentation of my skin, and I was also breastfeeding at the time. So I was trying to be extremely mindful of the products I was putting onto my hair and on my body. And I started to do a little bit of research of how these problems were remedied pre modernization. And that led us down a path to discover that we could actually make products that are safe and clean, and they're effective as well. After we took care of me, we started thinking, well, what about him? Because there's always been such a struggle with trying to find products for his extremely coarse hair. So that's where that led us to open up Bare+Bloom.
Yeah, and look at it, Ma is like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and admit it. I needed help, and thank goodness she was there. Which, guys,
I
we
was
do.
thankful that she started us down this path because otherwise I kind of would have been stuck in the same cycle that I'd been in since I was a teenager. I had facial hair early on, and I always had really coarse hair, and there was nothing I could ever do to really style it. And with my beard, as it started growing in and I started shaving, I had terrible problems with razor bumps, and it was. Especially for a teenager, I was super self-conscious about it, and I wanted it to go away. Should have had smooth skin at the time, so after we took care of her hair and we found out that we can do things that were effective, we decided to start exploring other areas and make products for the rest of the house. And we had a couple of fumbles and some things that we threw out, but the products that we ended up with when we opened Bare+Bloom were amazing, and the feedback's been overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah, and we got to mention that you guys make a very small batch. It's not like where you're making clumps of it and bigs of it, because you want everything to be natural. You want it to be right, and by making it with the way you are, it's going to be right for the families and making a big batch, right?
That's right. We're kind of control freaks, and when you start going to a contract manufacturer, you don't really have control over the sourcing of the raw materials. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, depending on who you work with. But in order to stick to our goal of having the purity and efficacy of the products be of the utmost importance, and also making sure that it was sustainable all the way throughout the supply chain, we had to do it ourselves. So we make all of our products by hand. And we just do small batches, what we know we're going to sell within the next couple of months, so that nothing sits on the shelf for an extended period of time and goes bad. And again, the products are all natural, so we're not putting harsh chemical preservatives and things like that in there. So we can't set things out and let them sit on the shelf for several years at a time.
Oh, all right, what's the plan for the future of this? Because I have some of the product here it's really nice and easy to use, but what's the plan? What's the future looking like for this?
Yeah, well, it's been, like I said, it's been overwhelmingly positive. We've had a lot of growth just in the first year. We started this in the middle of a pandemic, and we didn't know what to expect, but we were at a place in our lives where we were strong in our belief in ourselves and the belief in the product. So we just figured, let's go with it. And we've garnered a lot of attention, and so we're excited about the growth. But we've also been getting more feedback from our customers, which tells us what we need to do next and how to adjust what we're doing. And part of that has been a learning process for us, and we learn what they need. So we've been hearing a lot about face wash. A lot of people want a natural alternative to a good face wash. So that's something we're excited about developing, and just looking forward to 2021. To be honest with you,
That is great. Okay, I do have to ask Savannah, for those parents out there, what's one tip you can give, and what product for the hair for the kids? Because that's always a problem with the families.
Yeah. Yeah. So for the hair for the kids, for our little boy, he has a combination of hair. His hair is it's a mix between his coarse hair and then my fine hair. So
right
it's
in the middle.
yeah. So his it's really hard to style. So we actually have a product called Ducktail, and it really helps kind of smooth things into place, and it gives it a nice gloss without making it look like gel. It's a really nice product for hair, for combination hair.
Perfect. See, there you go. Parents need those kind of tips. All right, how can people find out more about their Bare+Bloom?
Yeah, visit our website at bareandbloomnaturals.com. That's B-A-R-E, despite the logo of the bear. It's B-A-R-E and bloomnaturals.com, or you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at bareandbloomnaturals. We're always putting information out there and interacting with our audience. So we look forward to hearing from you.
So, well, hey, thank you very much for joining us here on the Arizona Daily Mix.
Thanks for having us, Brad.